Hi everyone, it's Rabbi Thurgood again here with a daily update. I am currently in my new temporary office at the Bnei Akiva Bayit across the road from our community. As you can see, it's a very technological place. I've got a green screen in the back and I've even got a foosball table for when I want to take a break. Flippancy aside, the situation obviously is still very serious. All of our Sefer Torah are sadly still lost, and I must say it's the kind of thing that I really thought was in the olden days. I heard about when I was at Yeshiva, the great Yeshiva of Telz in Lithuania, which burnt down, and the Rosh Yeshiva set off to England on a fundraising campaign to rebuild the Yeshiva. And I understood that, and I heard that story, and in fact, I visited the rebuilt Yeshiva of Telz in Lithuania. And I always thought that this was something from the olden days. It never occurred to me that this would be something that, God forbid, we would have to experience. And I must just say how grateful I am for the fact that so many of you are experiencing it together with me. I'm not happy for your sake to be part of something so sad. But I must say that for all of us here at Morasha and in Cape Town, it really is a source of great strength and comfort to us, and we are very grateful. I've been thinking a lot about the concept of a home. Whenever people ask me, what does it mean to me to be a rabbi? One of the first points that I made was that as a communal rabbi, my role is to help people to find a spiritual home. And that's very much what my life and work were geared around. Is the shul a warm, welcoming place? Is this a place where people feel comfortable? Are they feeling like they can be spiritual here, that they can connect to Hashem, that they can learn, that they can pray? That's been the goal, how to make it a spiritual home. And I always said, you find people who live in magnificent palaces, but they are spiritually homeless. And we know what a terrible thing it is to be homeless. And my role as a rabbi was to help provide that home. And now I find myself, in a sense, spiritually homeless. I find myself in a place where, in my role as a husband and father, I have somewhere to go home to. But in my role as a rabbi and a member of a community, I no longer have somewhere. I walk out of the Bnei Akiva Bayit, I walk across the road, can't even go into the building. There's still roof beams, then there's danger of collapse, and there's a concern about various other safety things. And in that sense, I feel that I'm spiritually homeless. At the same time, there are a few things that I think really have given me both consolation and inspiration. The first is the nature of the support and outreach from other communities across Cape Town and across South Africa. We've, in fact, prayed in different shuls the last couple of days. We'll continue to do so. We were at Murray Road Shul last night for Mincha Mariv. We were at Or Sameach this morning. We're going to be at Chabad this afternoon. We'll be at the Sephardi congregation on Friday morning. And we're very grateful for having friends who are taking us in our hour of need. On Shabbat, we are going to create our own Shabbat service. We will be at Herzliya Weizmann in the hall. We're very grateful to them. And we were going to be coming together in prayer, in celebration of Shabbat. We're going to be Beit Midrash Morasha again, just somewhere else. And coming back to what I started with about the sense of a home, is that it's called a Beit Knesset. A shul is called a house of gathering. And it has both of those aspects. It's a house, it's a physical place, and it is what it is because of the gathering, and it's a place in which the gathering can take place. I feel at this point it would be a little trite for me to say, ultimately it's not about the place, it's about the people, because it's very much about the place. The place was where we were as people. The place was our home. but it also is about the people. It also isn't about the place. And our challenge over the months ahead, however long it's going to take to rebuild our beautiful community, the challenge is going to be finding ourselves as a community not in our space, finding ourselves as a community in temporary accommodation. We're working out a medium-term plan going forward, but that's what we're looking at. That's what our challenge is. On Sunday, we had scheduled our Hanukkah Carnival. We're going to have music and children's games and activities and arts and crafts. We're still going to have all of that, and once again, we'll have that at Herzliya Weizmann. And the one thing that I always look forward to the most every year is at our Hanukkah celebrations, we light a menorah, Chanukia, that survived the Holocaust. It was made in Warsaw, and it was taken from one of the trains that the Germans had sent it to be melted down for the silver. The Allies managed to capture that train and found all the looted Judaica, including this menorah. It's actually composed of two different pieces. And they took that and restored this Judaica to communities around the world, including here to Cape Town, where it's under the guardianship of the Jewish Board of Deputies. And when I first came here 6 years ago, and I noticed that menorah, I asked, would it be okay for us to borrow it? And it hadn't been lit. It hadn't been lit since before the Holocaust. We have a very special woman in our in the Cape Town community, Ella Blumenthal, who herself is a Holocaust survivor of the Warsaw Ghetto, of Majdanek, of Auschwitz, of Bergen-Belsen, of the death marches. Amazing woman. And she has lit that menorah for us for the last 6 years. And this year, she will be lighting that menorah for us again. And I always made a point that it is the heroic Holocaust survivor lighting the menorah that survived the Holocaust. And she'll now be doing that for a community that is in the process of rebuilding. Speaking of rebuilding, we are launching a fundraising campaign. If you would like to help, we really, as I said, have been so moved and touched and grateful by the outpouring of love and support. And we're going to be having that fundraising campaign. We'll post the link shortly on our Facebook page. That's on Facebook, Beit Midrash Morasha. And you can stay tuned for further updates there. We're going to try to keep our lines of communication open because we feel your concern and your care, and we're grateful for it, and we want you to know how much that means to us, and that we're working here to do everything we can to move forward and to move on to the next steps. We have had insurance people in today and investigators. We had an investigator to determine what the actual cause of the fire was, and that report will be written up soon. And then as soon as we have that information, we hope to be able to move forward with that and to share that as well. And otherwise, starting to, as I say, chart the course forward in the short and medium term. Where are we going to be? And in the longer term, what are things going to be like in terms of rebuilding our shul and our community? Thank you again to everyone who has helped. Thank you to everyone who will help, and we'll be in touch.